Hi, and welcome, welcome, welcome to the first episode of Courageously You with Martha. I am Martha Davis Alexander, and I am your host for this show. And I am so glad you have joined me today. And hopefully you joined me when it was Through the Looking Glass with Martha. So today we are going to talk about listening to your body and kind of learning to listen to your body is something that I have been immersed in January. It is the silver lining for me of having COVID. I tested positive on January 3rd. I have done rebroadcasts all month until today, the last Thursday of the month. I'm finally able to come on live and have some energy and play with you. So I have had to really sit and think about, how do I listen to my body? How do I know what I need? Because let's just be really perfectly clear. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a coach, and I had plans. Yes, I did. I had plans for 2022. I had things that I had all set out that I was going to do in that first month. I was going to be on fire. And instead, my fever was on fire and I wasn't able to do anything. So I really had to. I'm somebody who lives in my head. I like my to-do lists. I like my getting things done. My word of the year is accountability, which meant I was going to do everything that I set out to do. And accountability was really going to be part and parcel of my daily life. Well, when I got COVID, and I'm 60, so COVID was a bit more, and I'm boost. I had all of my vaccinations. I didn't get my booster before I got it. My mistake. So my husband and I were pretty sick. I almost had to take him to the hospital. I did not have to go to the hospital. But my body was giving me some serious messages. The first one was, no, you don't have the energy to do that. And I'd go on a Zoom and people would say, oh my gosh, you look horrible. You're doing, how are you even sitting up? And I'd be like, not very easily. And I'm probably going to leave early. So I tried to do as much as I can. And the more I pushed myself, and I tend to do that. I tend to overextend and overpromise. And the more I pushed it, the worse I felt the next day. So I had to really learn to listen when my body said, this is it. We've had enough. I need you to lay down or relax. I needed to pay attention to that. And it was not always easy. Truth be told, I'm a little bored with TV. There aren't any movies left that we haven't watched that we're really excited about. And I watched some pretty stupid movies, just saying, that I was like, what? And yet I could sit there and watch them because I didn't have any energy or anything left to give. So when my body says at the end of the day, and I know it's only going to be like 3:45 when this podcast is over. And when that's over, my body may very well be saying, yeah, I'm starting to get a headache and this is the end of the energy. And if that happens, then I'm done for the day. It doesn't matter what didn't get done. I will not beat myself up about it, because I need to listen to my body, not to my brain. My brain, my mind, my ego tell me I need to do X, Y, and Z. My body says, no, no, no. You need to prioritize your health. Then that's what I need to learn to do. So some of the other things that this has really helped me do is set some boundaries. So when I'm done for the day, I'm done. And my view is I'm done. I didn't cook dinner. Either we order takeout or we grab something quick from the pantry, or somebody else has to cook. what I learned is the world doesn't fall apart just because I'm sick. Everything goes on. We all eat. We all were able to rest. We were all able to function. Instacart is a lovely thing. It brings groceries to you. Um, the world doesn't fall apart. My business didn't fall apart because I was laying down. And keep in mind, it's been a 5 weeks that I have been not overly attentive to my business. Why? Because my son came home for Christmas and I wanted to take from the 23rd to the 1st off. And then I got COVID. So, and then I was down for another 3 weeks. Listening to my body and knowing that it's okay. It is not going to ruin everything. Everything isn't going to fall apart. And I need to get healthy. Another silver lining from COVID in listening to my body was I actually did lose my sense of smell and my sense of taste. Now, and you're not overly hungry during COVID anyway. You eat to sustain. So I learned, because you can't taste food, but man, textures are really, really an interesting thing to explore when you can't taste food. I do not explore them as well when I have my taste. So it's an interesting thing to lose your taste and your smell. I learned because I would eat, and normally I eat until it doesn't taste good anymore, right? So I can clear a plate and get more. And I learned I just don't have that need because I can't taste it. I needed to tune in to my body to really know when I was full versus when it was just tasting so good that I was going to eat every last bite of it. So learning the signals when my body says it's full was an immense gift to me in the last 3 weeks. I've lost 8 pounds and I've eaten. I do shakes for morning and lunch, and then I eat healthy for dinner. And sometimes not so healthy because it's takeout, but still, because I'm not eating it all, because I'm eating just until I'm done. I learned a lot. I also learned, and it's hard to tell the difference between when I'm hungry and when I want water. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's, your throat gets dry, or, you just want to drink something, right? Water, to hydrate. For me, I learned that once I'm full, taking those few minutes to then just drink water, and then if in an hour I'm hungry, I'm going to drink water first. And that tends to satisfy that need. Sugar during COVID is poison. We did do some because it was my daughter's 18th birthday, and we did do some celebration during her 18th birthday. But sugar during COVID, I learned from a friend that it actually reduces your immune system. It lowers your immune system for up to 30 minutes. So your immune system can't fight COVID after you've eaten sugar. For someone who loves sugar, and I'm not wanting to be sick anymore, I have started drinking tea in the evening when I want something sweet. There are some sweet teas that are decaf that are naturally sweet, that satisfies that craving. So that was listening to my body. Knowing what the aches and pains are, where they are, and how to cope with them. So I'll just tell you, we used a lot of Benadryl, a lot of Tylenol, and a lot of Advil. The main thing that I learned in listening to my body was that my body knows exactly what it needs. My mind thinks it can go on forever. It can go on. I have stopped saying yes to everything because my body no longer does that. My body just can't do that. So one of the things that I had in store for 2022, big surprise, people, I know this can be a huge one, was exercise, adding exercise. And I didn't because I was sick and because, just walking up the stairs had me, hacking and breathing heavy and pathetic. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been reading a book called Tiny Habits by B.J. Fogg. I wish I had it on my desk right now. I'd show it to you. Fabulous book. And one of the things that he talks about in that book that he chose, it's talking about stacking habits, putting tiny things in place that build up over time, that you can build a habit because it's tiny. And for me, I was like, so I would like to do some exercising. And the tiny habit that I started developing is doing counter push-ups, not on the floor. Come on, people. But just counter push-ups, standing full up. And I do it after I use the restroom, and I do that. And then I wash my hands. And then I'm done. And that has felt so good. I do 2. Yes, 2. By the end of the day, I've done 20. 20 push-ups by the end of the day. So it builds up. You stack it to something else. When I am waiting for my tea water, because I drink tea all day long and at night, when I'm waiting for my tea, I do squats or something for a different part of my body. And I only do so many. And then my body is like, yep, that's it. We're not going to be sore. And then I stretch it out. So my goal in listening to my body is to build these things up to a place where I'm doing it. It feels good. I am not trashing. I am not putting myself back in bed for a week. I am doing small, little steps. I am listening to what my body says about doing small, little steps to gain momentum. Small steps. And celebrating those small steps. So the celebration on the end of a habit, and I'll talk about habits another day for sure, fully, but is to celebrate, right? So you're listening to your body, how many you're going to do, and make it simple. 2 is all you need to do. 2 of anything, whether it's a sit-up, whether it's whatever it is, to build it into your day so that it becomes routine. And you can celebrate. My celebration, I found for me, which is really funny because I thought just clapping would be perfect for me. It needed to be visceral. It needed to be like a fist pump and a yes. It sounds silly. You can pick your own. We'll talk about habits another time. But what I found is that when I pay attention to what my body needs, I am happier. I have more energy, and I tend to, the weight kind of drops if that's something that you want. Sitting outside in the sun, right? Sitting outside. Well, for me, I'm very pale. I don't really sit in the sun. I sit near the sun and still get sunlight, filtered sunlight for me, is an amazing thing and amazing for your body. One of the things that is a big deal for me, and that I really had to pay attention to my body and really listen to it and learn to listen, is I don't sleep well at night. Sometimes I cannot fall asleep, even during COVID. Sometimes I was fatigued, I was exhausted, I was miserable, and sometimes I still could not sleep. And that is miserable, which makes you feel worse the next day as well. So I paid some attention to my body, and here's what I learned. And how I did this was I sat quietly and I asked myself, why are you not sleeping? Tell me, what do I need to do? I've read the books, I've looked at the research, I've added the magnesium, I've added, I got rid of all caffeine. During COVID, it was a little easier because I already had the headache. So I got rid of the caffeine almost altogether. I do 35 milligrams of caffeine a day, and that's it. Everything else is herbal tea or water. So I'd really been trying to pay attention to why I wasn't sleeping. And so finally this week I said, why? Why can you not fall asleep at night? What is it that you need? Here was my answer, and it really surprised me. Are you ready? I was not sitting quietly at some point during the day to let my mind think all of the thoughts it wants to think during a day. I was not giving myself that quiet space, that meditative space to actually be able to have it say the day is done and I'm going to bed now. Your mind is still part of your body, right? So I need to meet the needs of all of it in order to be able to put it away. And I found that my head was kind of spinning, or it was thinking about something, or it was making up stories, or it was doing whatever it was doing. But if I give it half an hour, 20 minutes, whatever it is, a couple of times a day, to actually think and listen to myself, listen to my mind, listen to my body, and just really pay attention to what this physical being needs, it makes it a lot easier to go to bed. It makes it a lot easier to say the day is done. I can now rest because I have met all the needs that I have. And it's a really interesting concept to me because I've done a lot of what do I need to do this. So it was really a light bulb moment for me that I wanted to share with you. If you can't sleep and your mind's spinning, is there time in your day? Can you find time in your day to quiet everything and listen? Just listen to what your mind, your body, everything has to say. Learning to listen is so key to the optimal functioning of our physical forms. In about 2 seconds, maybe a few more, we're going to cut to a break. When we come back from break, we are going to talk about how to quiet your mind and how not to beat yourself up when you listen to your body and what you need. You are listening to Courageously You with Martha. I'm your host, Martha Davis Alexander, and you are on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. And join me after. Don't leave. I'll be sitting here trying to dance in the interim. Have a fabulous break. Be right back.
fades to black and white. Well, I wouldn't mind, no, I would not cry, 'cause you are the rainbow in my sky. If the seas took us all away, well, I wouldn't mind, no, I would not pray if you are the ship sailing.
Hey guys, we're back. You are listening to, I almost said the old one, Courageously You with Martha. I am your host, Martha Davis Alexandra. I'm so happy to be here with you. I work with adult children of divorce as a certified fearless living coach. And I work a lot with mindset shifting. So, and you can reach me at marthadalexandra@gmail.com or at throughtheleookingglasswithmartha.com. My phone number is 805-422-6865. And this is WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, the #1 internet singles show there is. It's awesome. We are talking today about learning to listen to your body. And I talked about how COVID was my silver lining that changed everything and allowed me to really start listening to my body. Well, it demanded. It was a demand that I listen to my body because effects of COVID can go on for months. The mental fog, there's a lot of things to it. And learning to know what your body is saying, learning to get out of your head and into your body and really paying attention to what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're doing. And when you're doing it is pretty important in terms of COVID recovery or recovery from any sickness. Anyone with an illness, we should all pay attention to what our bodies say. And when we're healthy, it's even more important. Here's what I did when I was healthy. I said yes to everything because I'm a bit of a people pleaser. Well, I'm a reformed people pleaser. Thank you very much. I said yes to everything. I was easily guilt tripped into things by my kids. Easily. I didn't really pay much attention to how food impacted my body, the types of food that I was eating. I did once during a thing, but during a cleanse, and then kind of just got back into some habits. So I really have spent 60 years not paying much attention to what this shell I'm in, what this body needs. So COVID was my wake up call to pay attention. And there's a few additional things that I learned, and forgive me because I just went on a mental fog for just a second. So I'm going to have to think about it for a minute. Not beating myself up about not doing things, right? Setting my boundaries so that when I am physically tired, I am not pushing beyond that. I pick, here's what I did during COVID for my business. I picked one thing a day that was important for me to do. One thing a day. That was my priority, that if I got that done, I celebrated myself. I was so happy I got it done. One of the days it was, what am I going to do for the household, right? And keep in mind, when everybody's down for 2 weeks, the mail kind of piles up a little bit. So one day I said, I am going to do the mail, and opening the mail and sorting it between recycling, shredding, and filing, and something I need to handle, was all I had. That was it. And so the next day it was about, and I will handle what needs to be handled tomorrow. And one day was about, okay, I haven't looked at email for a bit. I need to go through and at least delete the ones that I know I don't need to look at, right? And then tomorrow I'll pick however many I can pick to review, and that will be a good day. My goal was to have, I do my taxes. I have a close family friend and I do his taxes. I don't do them. I prepare them for the accountant, prepare all the documents in one place for the accountant. And I do my mom's tax returns. I prepare everything for her estate. And I do ours. And I have the business and all kinds of stuff. And my goal was to have it done by, well, the 31st. Here's the thing. I've done some of it, a little bit every day that I can do. When I get something in the mail, I put it in the right stack. And I will absolutely have it done by, let's say, February 15th. It will be my now I've set a goal, and accountability is my gig. So February 15th, evidently it is. And in being gentle with myself, if for some reason my body's like, no, we're pushing, I will prioritize when those absolutely have to be done. And I will prioritize whose gets done. The family friends will be done first. It's very easy to do. And I can probably knock that out in an hour. So that will for sure get done easily. My mom's is going to be a little bit more complicated. So we sold the family house. So there's some capital gains stuff that I have to go through and some other stuff that I have to go through for her. So that might be a longer one. And our personal one is going to take a little bit, not as much as my mom's. So I will pick a week and do each of them. And that will be my priority for that week. So, and if my body says, no, we're not doing that, or I can't handle it, I'm going to take a break. I am not going to push myself through getting something done for that, because I know that when my body tells me I need this, I need rest, I need you to lay your head back, I need you to take a break, that I need to do that, that it is important for me to do that for me. So that I can stay healthy and keep going. I know that there are some things that I have taken off my calendar since being sick that I've thought, is that a priority in my business, or is that something that I was doing because I thought it was a good thing? Is it really a priority? So listening to my body that tells me how much energy I have, that tells me what I need, I can help make decisions about my business. It can help me be a better businesswoman. It can help me prioritize what really needs to be done in a day. Because if I only have so much time or so much energy, that's what I'm going to get done. And it has, well, this is the week that I've been back in the office part-time. And it has really helped me get the important things done, right? The things that had to get done, got done. And the things that I can wait for, got put on hold. And I need you to know that when you're listening to your body and you're doing what your body needs, it is the why of doing it is health. The why of doing it is joy. When I listen to my body vibrates with just joy. I know that I'm doing the right thing. My mind is a little more demanding than my body, right? My mind wants me to do everything and do it well, everything perfectly, and finish everything. And I can do 500 things a day, and that may not still be enough for my mind. Right? My mind, I'm an overachiever, just do more. When I temper that with my body and what my body needs and what I can handle and what makes me crazy, what makes me stressed, what makes me anxious, if I know that something is stressing me out, doesn't mean I'm not going to do it, but it does mean I'm going to pay attention to what my body is saying. Am I nervous or anxious because it's out of my comfort zone and I have some fear about it? Am I anxious or nervous because it doesn't feel right? Am I anxious or nervous because I am tired and I'm going to run out of steam? Do I have enough fuel in me to get through something? Do I need to do something about that? Knowing how to differentiate the signals your body gives you, whether it's excitement or fear. And you can have both excitement and fear. My daughter just took her driving test. Yay, she passed. Anyway, she just took her driver's test. And before it, she had butterflies. And she was like, some are fear, some are excitement, some are, nerves, some are, I'm like, yeah. And if you were to say, hey, I'm going to count all of those as excitement, how would that change? So some things your mind can shift for your body, things like butterflies in your stomach. If you know what they are and what they're from. And that is where really listening and hearing, taking the time to listen to your body. How do you listen to your body? How do you pay attention? For me, I sit quietly and just pay attention to what the feelings are inside my body. And I used to say that is wackadoodle. But if you feel a pit in the middle of your stomach, you know what that means. If you want to lay your head on the desk, you know what that means. You might be tired, you might be in grief, you might be depressed. I mean, given your situation, what's going on. You need to let your body process emotions as well. That is listening to your body. When you are sad or depressed, you need to feel that. Because what I learned to do as a kid, when my parents got divorced, I learned that feelings don't matter. You don't listen to them and you don't listen to your body, right? That's what I learned as a kid. So this is like groundbreaking in my life. What I learned was to stuff those feelings. Oh, I'm sad. Nope, not going to show that. Nobody's going to see that. Oh, I want to cry. Nope, we don't cry. Right? Big girls don't cry. There's no crying in baseball. All those things. No, I didn't play baseball. We didn't have sports for girls when I was growing up. Thank you very much. Learning, right? Sorry, there was another COVID moment. Learning how to differentiate your body, allowing your body to feel what it needs to feel, and then allowing it to release is a beautiful thing. I don't have the link right now, which is unfortunate because this is the last day for it. I should have found that and given it to you. On Eventbrite, search The Art of Practicing Forgiveness. I do a free webinar the first Tuesday of every month. So it will be next Tuesday, which I believe is the 1st. And we're going to, I'm going to teach you how to practice the art of forgiveness, which is Well, see, there it is. God bless you, Cece. It starts at 5:30 PST, and it is from now until the end of time. I will do this. So just come on. It will be the same number every time. Come on. And it's on a Zoom, and we're going to forgive, and we're going to release that from your body so you feel lighter. And in doing this and practicing forgiveness, you're going to learn how to listen to your body, because you're going to learn where you store things in your body, and you're going to learn what it feels like when it's not there. It's a very powerful movement in not only in just releasing yourself from the crap that you're carrying. It's also a really amazing thing to learn where you store and how you feel without it, the lightness that comes. And then you'll know more where things are. As I started to practice the art of forgiveness, I know where it is, and I feel them come up, and I will release and forgive as I go about my day. Sometimes they pop up depending upon what's going on. And I'm trying this is the year where I'm going to release and give up all things, grudge, anger, frustration, all of that. And I would love to teach you how to do that. In closing, here's the thing. We are taught frequently, particularly on the Western side of the hemisphere, not to live in our bodies, right? That we live in our minds. Our goals are moving forward, and it's faster and faster and faster. And that's how we teach our children as well. What if we listen to our body? What if we taught our children how to listen to what their body is telling them, how to listen to when they're tired, or when they're hungry, when they're full, when they need water, when they just need to be and sit silently? What if they didn't have to fill their whole world with activity all the time? What would be the difference in our world if we all listened to what we needed, as opposed to what our mind made up and what our mind says? Because our mind's not always right. It's our ego, it pushes us to succeed, but you also need to exist in this body, and you need to nurture the body. And in order to do that, you really need to learn to listen to what your body needs and what your body wants and what's important to your body. That goes from food you intake, which I forgot to talk about, so I'm just going to give a slight blurb about it. So we just recently went vegetarian. Sometimes I really want red meat, and I'll have red meat, and we're still omnivores. But sometimes we try to eat less meat in our household. And I've noticed that my digestive system is happier without the meat. And I'm from Iowa, people. I like my red meat. I like my steak. I like my burger. I like red meat. That's what I was raised on. Meat and potatoes. That's what I like. But I find that my body doesn't. My body prefers it when I eat vegetables. I'm more vibrant. I'm happier. My skin glows more. So I'm playing with that. I'm listening to what my body says, and then noticing differences. And that is how you learn to nurture your entire being. We've been doing learning to listen to your body today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please send me any questions or thoughts or whatever you want to marthadalexander@gmail.com, or reach out to me through my website, which is through the looking glass with martha.com. If you want to abbreviated version, it's TTLGS. That's TTLGS.com. Or you can call me, 805-422-6865. I always love hearing from my listeners. If you're listening to a replay, call me, email me anyway. I would love to hear from you. I hope you guys all got something amazing out of this. This has been Courageously You with Martha. And I am your host, Martha Davis Alexander, and you have been listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network. #1, Internet Singles Talk Network. Guys, have a phenomenal day, evening, morning, whatever it is for you. I look forward to seeing you next week at my new time, 3 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, on Thursdays. Have a fabulous day.